All right, welcome back to Diamond Weekly. My name is Cooper, and I've got Kevin here. He's dancing, clearly, because the White Sox are doing so well in the season. No response from Kevin. Got it. We're going to move along. I'm in a good mood. Cubs won today. They play later in Cincinnati. We're doing really well. We just came off a series win against Milwaukee. We're not that far back.
Hey, how about Cody Bellinger?
What about him? MVP.
Might be a guy. Cody Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger's a guy.
Certified dog. Certified.
For some
dog.
reason, I used to hate him. Like, when he was on the Dodgers, because, like, 2017,
I'll tell you why I hate him. Because he played for the Dodgers.
Because he played for the Dodgers.
And we'll
Not
get
anymore.
We'll get to your hatred for the Dodgers in a little bit, but I mean, the Cubbies aren't bad. Cubbies aren't bad. And I'll tell you what, Jordan Wicks looked pretty nice in that opening start. Looked pretty nice. I mean, I was talking about last week about how, hey, pitching in the playoffs really matters. And I know it's only one start, but man, he looked good.
He looked good today, too.
And so even if you're talking about Justin Steele, who's a dude, I mean, Kyle Hendricks has more playoff experience than anybody in baseball.
I'm a numbers person.
So when we're talking about the Cubs, if they get sneaked in this wild card, I mean, I think the pitching is good enough to, if they catch fire at the right time, to make a run at it.
Mm-hmm. It's not like a build-up like Philly like last year.
No, but I think they just been solid the whole year. They haven't had too many huge, like,
Steele is still second in the league after yesterday. When did he pitch? I don't remember.
He's one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball.
Blake Snell, okay. I have not been following Blake Snell.
I mean, they're not worth.
Who were our Cy Young picks at their very beginning? I picked Kershaw and Cole. I'm close on Cole. It's Sonny Gray or Garrett Cole. For some reason, I like Steele doesn't have like an overwhelming velocity just because of the cutting fastball. But like I love how when I go on the MLB like Twitter and Instagram and they list off pitchers, they have like Steele listed like 7th or 8th.
Sure.
Which is just weird.
I think I had Spencer Strider, who is a pretty safe pick right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I mean, there isn't a ton of guys who I would want over Justin Steele. I mean, in terms of starting pitchers,
Kodai is having an okay year.
But I mean, Justin Steele in the National League. If you're talking about just National League pitchers, I think it's Spencer Strider.
Strider's leading the league in wins, right? He's 16-4, yeah.
So yeah, that sounds about right.
In 27 games, yeah.
And then I don't even know. I guess Devin Williams, if you're talking about Cy Young, I mean, he's got to be a claim to it. Zach Gallen.
When was the last time a reliever won Cy Young? I don't even know.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer, but it's a great question nonetheless. I mean, I think he's gonna have a top 3 Cy Young finish this year. Justin Steele.
Wait for him to go off, and they'll like be like, "Yo, he might be interesting." Like he's not as consistent because he's always like 2 or 3 earned runs consistently. I mean, it's still good, but the offense has just been carrying lately.
Sure, but also we're in an age now where wins is not the end-all be-all stat for pitchers, right? Because you can be a very good pitcher and have a bad offense, and guess what? You're not going to win too many games.
No,
which is a positive turn we've seen in recent years. Because I'll never forget 2016.
Yeah, baby.
But I'm talking about Rick Porcello winning Cy Young. And it's like, how did Rick Porcello ever win a Cy Young?
How old was he? Let me see.
He was, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but he was old.
Let me see.
And it's not one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Porcello, age 34, so what?
If you look on the other side of the league, I mean, you have Max Scherzer.
I love like how in his stat lines, like he's got Rookie of the Year and then just nothing in terms of awards, and then just out of nowhere wins Cy Young 2016.
That was a weird stretch, like in the mid-2000s for the American League.
What was his ERA that year?
Oh, I really don't know off the top of my head. But I know it was a weird stretch because you had Dallas Keuchel, who was very good that year, but then kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And then you had Porcello, who was great, but fell off. And then
he went 22-4 that year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's a good sleeper pick.
When you value wins above actual numbers, sometimes the right guy doesn't always win. And I think in recent years, the voters have started to turn away, thanks in part to some of these advanced analytics we have now. They've started to go away from just the most baseline numbers when you're talking about wins and you're talking about ERA, which are valuable stats. But
it just goes to show the whole one and done thing exists because he went 22-4 in 2016, led the league in wins. The following year, he led the majors in losses with 11 and 17. That just goes to show that the one and done does exist. But that's funny. But going back to Steele, I feel good. How old is he? Let me see. Let me see how old Mr. Steelio is. Mr. Steele is
28.
28 years old. And yeah, it's only his third season so far, so he's got potential. I don't know what contract. I don't follow contracts or all that.
Well, it'll be a couple of years before he's up for arbitration. But the point is, we're talking about this year. We're talking about if the Cubs want to get into it. I mean, Justin Steele's a guy is an arm you can rely on.
Yep. And what's surprising is it catches me off guard how often I'll just be watching something and they'll mention because we actually have a top 10 farm system, and I didn't realize that. We've had the top 10 farm system for a while.
Can't relate.
I wonder why.
So, and just to wrap up on the Cubs here, I mean, we've been... I know I kind of give you some crap for the Cubs because I'm a White Sox fan, but the Cubs have dudes, and if they get in, they're not going to be an easy out by any means. Whatever team has to face
I just don't want to be, completely disappointed and have them be completely embarrassed by someone in the playoffs.
Well, I think... Wrigley in the playoffs we've seen
is dope.
It's not an easy place to win.
No,
it's really hard to go into Wrigley with the people rocking, with the bleachers going, and come out with a win. It's really hard.
Absolutely.
So if the Cubs get in, and hey, maybe you steal a game on the road. Hey, maybe now you're coming back to Wrigley and you got to win both and you move on. I like the Cubs if they can get in. I like them above some of the other wild card teams we're talking about. We're talking about Miami or Cincinnati or some of these other teams in the hunt. I think the Cubs, out of all of them, have the best chance to really shake some things up.
In the National League, in the National League, the Cubs are second in the entire National League in away wins.
Yeah. I mean, they're a tough team. Maybe they don't have some of the star power some of these other teams have, but, they grind.
Or wait, no, I counted that wrong. Fourth. Not counting the division leaders. Sorry, Atlanta. You're good.
Okay. So, but... Point stands. The Cubs are not a bad team. I like them if they can sneak in. But we're talking about farm systems. Speaking of farm systems, the White Sox farm system in recent years, I don't know if you know this, not good. Not good. Since 2018, when all the big prospects came up. So 2019, they're 27th best farm system. 2020, 30th. 2021, 27th. 2022, 28th. Right?
Okay.
Not good, right? Not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all. So what does that say about the farm system? Well, they haven't been able to develop prospects.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally,
which means the scouts just suck.
Well, the scouts, but also the director of player development. You have to look at that guy and say, hey, you're not doing your job right now. Mm-hmm. So naturally, the White Sox go to that guy and they say, hey, you know what? You're not getting it done. We have to let you go. And hey, sorry, right? That's what they do.
Yeah.
No, of course they don't do that. They promote the guy to general manager. Because the White Sox are not a team interested in winning games. So they don't do what a normal team would do when, hey, you see this guy, he's not cutting it. Oh, well, it doesn't matter because you're getting a promotion. Because Jerry Reinsdorf knows that you're a fucking yes man, that you'll say whatever you want. So it doesn't matter.
That's got to be a...
The White Sox are saying that you do not need to produce in order to keep your job with this franchise. As long as Jerry likes you, you're good. It does not matter. Which is so embarrassing as an organization that we have to put up with these guys who fail us at every turn, and they just fail upwards. When you're talking about a Kenny Williams, when you're talking about a Chris Getz, who I'm talking about, who the White Sox just promoted, I mean, it's embarrassing. It really is. I just don't know what else to say about this team right now. There is no hope. There's just no hope, and it's so... I don't even know what to say. I mean, you would think... They didn't interview anybody from outside the organization. They just brought up Chris Getz. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating.
This system is interesting of how they've let people go and all that. We're gonna shift right now into actually some of the players that did play for the White Sox or whatever did. But some of the bigger news of late is a lot of the waiver movements.
One second. I don't mean to cut you off, but before we finish the White Sox, I just want to lead you some of the chief officers for the White Sox organization and how long they've been with the team. So you're talking about Howard Pfizer, who is the senior executive vice president of the team. This is his 43rd season with the White Sox, right? Ken Williams, who was general manager for 25 years and the team sucked. He managed to get a World Series, but he's been with the team for 40 years. Rick Hahn been with the team for 22 years before he was fired. Tim Buzzard, who's the director of stadium operations, he was been with the team for 42 years. Vice president of stadium operations, Terry Savarese, 43 years. The chief marketing officer, Brooks Boyer, he's been with the team for 32 years. Scott Seifert, who's the vice president of community relations, he's been with the team for 32 years as well. The director of White Sox charities, Christine O'Reilly, 41 years. The vice president of finance, Bill Waters, 35 years. Vice president and general counsel, John Corvino, he's been with the team for 22 years. Vice president of human resources and risk management, Maura Ford, 35 years.
How many of these people do you actually care about?
But my point is, Jerry is so content to just let people stay where they are. He does not want to bring in new blood. If you get in good with Jerry Reinsdorf, you're set for the next 35 to 40 years.
Yeah.
Which is not good because people get complacent that way. Good teams don't, if somebody begins to fail, they don't keep that guy around for very long. I mean, I said this last week, I've said this on a couple of shows, but Rick Hahn was the third longest tenured GM in baseball and never won a playoff series. So this team on all levels is an embarrassment. And then when you go to the disaster that happened last week in the stadium, where somebody gets a gun into the game.
Okay, we'll shift into that.
Somebody gets a gun into the game. Everybody should be fired. Everybody. From the security guards who let that woman in to the director of security. Jerry Reinsdorf should be investigated for this. I mean, it is... Thank God that nobody was seriously injured. The woman got the gun in and she grazed herself and another person. But, I mean, people could have legitimately died because of the White Sox negligence. I mean, it is... From top to bottom, this team is an embarrassment. There is no other way to put it. I mean, this season, which is supposed to be in the middle of our quote-unquote competitive window, is turned into a full-on circus. And it's so embarrassing as a fan to see this team that, like, we have watched for so long that, like, it's so apparent nobody cares. And I don't know what else to say. Just nobody cares.
You want to know the best part?
What's the best part?
The Vanilla Ice concert after.
The Vanilla Ice concert, yes. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited.
I love how they referred to as on the board. Like, this makes sense.
Well, that's the thing. They also didn't. They
referred to it as a technical difficulty on the board. You can't put someone got shot on the board.
Okay, but here's the thing. This shooting happened in the third inning. And at that point, they didn't know who had the gun. They didn't know if there was an active threat. And they just kept continuing the game. They moved out the section the shooting was in. And they just kept continuing the game. Like, that is a serious safety threat for the people at the game. Because at that point, you don't know who has the gun, where this person is. And it's just like, it's mind-boggling to me that was allowed. They played the rest of the game, and there's a person in the stadium with a gun. Like,
that's Chicago. That's not the White Sox. That's Chicago.
No, that's the White Sox. Because how does this woman get into the stadium? How does she get into the stadium?
I don't know.
That is on the White Sox 1,000%. There's stadiums in shadier areas in the Sox Park, and people don't get in with guns because they do the very bare minimum of making sure, oh, hey, you walk through, oh, there's a gun in the metal detector, well, you can't come in. That's not a high bar for the White Sox to clear. Do you think it is? I don't, personally.
I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares? Let's move on. I don't want to talk about this.
I brought it up earlier. A lot of big waiver movements. Recent White Sox, Lucas Giolito, when he was acquired at the trade deadline from, was it a trade?
So it was a very interesting move for the Angels.
Was it a trade? No.
So here's what happened.
Yeah.
So at the deadline, the Angels kind of went all in. They traded a lot of prospects.
Yeah.
And they went out and they got Ronaldo Lopez and Lucas Giolito from the White Sox. Additionally, they got Randall Grichuk and they got Hunter Renfroe. So they went out and they made some moves and they said, hey, like, we have Shohei for this year, maybe not any more after that. So we want to make a run at it. Well, they've
gone nowhere with
these guys don't really perform, and then Shohei, as we know now, is banged up. And so they just throw in the towel. They give up, and they release all these guys as a salary dump, essentially. So in a matter of 3 weeks, you went from, okay, we're going to try and compete, to throwing in the towel in a way
now essentially they let all these guys go because this yesterday or
you traded? I mean, the White Sox, I know, for Giolito, the White Sox got the number 3 and number 10 prospect in their system. So now you've traded prospects who can become real players for you for guys who played less than a month on your team.
Mm-hmm. And now they're gone.
and now they're gone, and you got nothing out of them.
Giolito got.
It was mind-boggling to me at the deadline when the Angels were buyers, and it's mind-boggling to me now that they are just giving up.
They wanted to give a ditch effort or something because Giolito, Ronaldo Lopez, and Matt Moore, Dominic Leone, and Hunter Renfroe all went to different teams. Renfroe went to Cincinnati. The three pitchers went to Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Which is actually really interesting because Ronaldo Lopez and Lucas Giolito, they were both drafted in the national system the same year.
Yeah.
And there has never been a time where they haven't been on the same team. They went with the Nationals together.
Really?
To the White Sox. Traded to the White Sox together. Then traded to the Angels together. And now they've gone to Cleveland.
Now they've gone to Cleveland.
On waivers.
Which does that mean Cleveland is trying to do something? Because they are 5 games back on Minnesota.
That's another thing. Cleveland, I mean, you give up on the season at the deadline. You trade Rosario. You trade guys who, you trade Josh Bell. You trade guys who can go and help you. And you're only 1 game out then. And now you're 5 games out, and you're picking up Giolito and Raylo. I guess it doesn't really cost you anything, but what are you doing? What's
they want to see if they can sneak in somehow.
Okay, but if you want to see if you can sneak in, don't sell off good players at the deadline. That's a pretty basic formula,
yeah,
right?
I don't know where they were at the deadline.
They're 1 game back. Now they're 5, and it's I don't know.
Along with Renfroe, who went to the Angels, former Yankee outfielder. Renfroe went from the Angels to Cincinnati.
Yeah, okay. I thought you said he went to the Angels.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
Bader, former Yankee, also, which was really funny, was watching TV or something.
Kind of,
and that's how he figured out he was acquired.
But it's really shocking how often you hear that a guy gets traded, released.
Who was the guy who was that a football or baseball thing? Who was at a movie theater and found out he got called up? Who was that?
Oh, I don't know for sure.
Hold on, I gotta find this.
But you hear stories like that a lot about guys who find out they got traded on ESPN, or from Adam Schefter tweeting it, or Jeff Passan tweeting it.
Who was
this?
Which
is crazy a way to operate a professional sports team. But
Drew Maggi, I think was this? I don't know. I'll have to do more research.
I don't know, but yeah,
someone was at a movie theater watching a movie when they got called up.
But the point is, Bader now gone, and a very disappointing Yankee season. Then,
yeah,
I mean, Cashman, you have to figure is gone at the end of this year.
Okay,
you have to figure that.
Yeah,
Boone is gone. What is the roadmap?
It's funny seeing Boone just argue.
This is the first time in my life I can remember the Yankees being
bad.
Not bad by Yankee standards,
but
bad period. It's truly shocking to see a team like the mighty New York Yankees fall from grace.
Yeah.
And is it I know we've said this before, but this is the latest in the season the Yankees have been under 500.
I'm gonna look. I'm a numbers person, so I'm just gonna look at their lineup right now.
Is this are we actually seeing the downfall of the New York Yankees in real time?
Maybe. I'm gonna look at their lineup here. I know we did this probably last week, but
there's nobody in that lineup. Gleyber Torres is an okay piece.
Everyone's under 260 on base percentage. There's a couple over 300.
But you got to look at that pitching staff too. I mean, Severino has been unbelievably bad. Herman's been bad. I mean, all these different pieces have been having
another instance of one and done. Herman with a perfect game.
Yeah,
Garrett Cole is potentially another Cy Young candidate. So,
yeah, but the Yankees, I mean, both those New York teams, the Yankees and the Mets have.
The Mets are even more of a disgrace.
Yeah, just shocking.
They're more of a disgrace when you look at them and you look at their record and this year tied with
when you look in
Nationals.
That division. I mean, they thought they were going to be competing with.
Wait, who?
When you're talking about the Mets, you thought you're going to be competing with Atlanta or at least Philly.
They're dead last.
and now you're with the Nationals.
They're dead last.
And so, the Mets are bad, but you know who's very good?
In that division,
the Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta
Braves are a wagon.
I think I picked at the beginning of the year. I was picking Mets to win the division, hold on. I picked Mets to win the division because of all the all season crap that they did. But then for some reason in our predictions I went Braves over someone. That might happen. For those of you who don't know, there's this guy named Ronald Acuna Jr., which might be
I don't know if you guys know this. Pretty good at baseball. I don't mean to go crazy.
If you guys don't know the news, he yesterday became the first player ever with a 30-60 season. So 30 homers, 60 stolen bases in a season. He did this in a dramatic fashion against, I should have watched this game, against the Dodgers in LA last night with a grand slam to help propel the Braves forward in the game. And the dude also got freaking married yesterday.
Yeah, hell of a day.
To do that on hell of a day.
But it's,
I brought this up. There have been instances where I want to go see Ronald play over Ohtani.
Yeah,
just to see him run around.
And that's taking into account how incredible Ohtani is. Like,
yeah,
Acuna is just as spectacular to watch. And it's really interesting because you think about, we're talking about 30-30 or 30-40 seasons.
Yeah.
But this development of guys who are equal power and speed threats is a pretty, in terms of the lifetime of baseball.
Yeah.
It's a pretty recent development.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, before 1985, I think there was 11 30-30 seasons.
I can look. Let me look up a list.
Compared to 55 since then. So I don't think there was anybody other than Willie Mays who in their career was a 200 guy before 1985. So and now
Ronald did it. Yep. Cedric Mullins. Ronald actually did it in 2019 with Christian Yelich.
But my point is, you don't see a lot of guys
before 85. There's a good amount.
Yeah, I think there's 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, you were correct.
Compared to 54 since 85.
Yeah.
So it's a in terms of the overall history of baseball, it's a recent development, and now you factor in some of these rule changes that make stealing more. Because we did for a long time, the baseball was going away from what you would call small ball, bunting, moving the run over, stealing bases. And now with these rule changes where, hey, you can't pick off 15 times, you can't hold a runner for 2 minutes.
I saw Cedric Mullins. Did you see this, how he completely exploited the system the other day?
Tell me.
Okay, so he was, who the hell was he playing? Oh, fuck, this is going to bother me. Orioles are playing someone. I forgot who the pitcher. I'll look it up later. But the Orioles are playing someone, and he's dancing around at first. Okay, so what do they call the term when a pitcher disengagement?
Pick off.
It's a disengagement.
Yeah, disengagement, yeah.
So picked him off, disengagement number 1. He's fine, safe in there. Number 2, I think...
So if you don't get him on the second, it's
third.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So on the second one, I think he was kind of dancing around back and forth again, and then kind of watching people. And I think the pitcher he stepped off because he saw him. He didn't throw over. So now on the third try, you have to get him. Now I think Cedric and the umpire were the only guy in the stadium who realized this, but Cedric was just dancing around, and he almost goes like halfway down the line and then sprints back and causes the pitcher to throw over. He's safe. What does that mean? He gets to walk to second for free. I'll have to look up who this was, but people have been able to exploit this.
And we talked about at the beginning of the season that these rule changes a lot of people didn't like. I think from what I've seen this season, I've really liked all of them. I like the bigger bases. I like that you can't pick off 50 times. I like that there's a pitch clock. Like, I like all of the rules. I think have worked out for the better, in my opinion. Now we talk about, and they just announced today that for the playoffs that
they're keeping the system
all
the same.
All the rules are the same, pitch clock and everything is the same.
I would at least raise it by 5 seconds.
I don't even think it's a matter of the pitch clock. I think in the playoffs, runs are hard to come by. That's no secret.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you talk about not being able to pick over more than 2 times, that gives guys a good chance to get in scoring position more often.
Yeah.
So maybe in the playoffs this year we see a burst of offense from some of these teams because it's a lot more risky now to pick over 2-3 times, and it'll be interesting. I wonder if we do see a little bit more offense come October.
Mm-hmm. What else? In other news,
Ronald Acuna.
Very
good.
MVP.
You know who's pretty good too?
Mookie
Betts.
Who I think we talked about Mookie before, but the guy can do anything. He's an athlete.
We're getting down the stretch here, and we're talking about awards. We were talking about earlier Justin Steele and Cy Young. We talk about MVP in the American League. It's not really hard. It's Shohei. But then we get to the National League and things get more interesting. Because you have two unbelievable players having career years in Ronald Acuna and Mookie Betts.
And then a sleeper on the same team in Atlanta, Matt Olson, who's sneaking up there in terms of home runs.
Well, sure, but if we're talking about MVP race,
Matt Olson is not that far behind.
Matt Olson won't be there.
Well, because he's stuck behind a teammate.
Well, I'm saying he's not. If
he leads the league in homers, maybe, which he's close.
But we're talking about it's
right now
Acuna,
it's two guys.
It's Acuna and it's Betts. It's a two-man race. Olson is a distant third. He's not even close. So Olson's not worth talking about. We're talking about Betts and Acuna. And like these guys are having unbelievable years. Like it's going to be a really fun race to watch down the stretch. I am a Betts guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're an Acuna guy. So let's talk to me here. Why
am I on the Ronald bandwagon?
Mm-hmm.
See, like, I'm trying to find comparisons. Like, both of them can throw. Both of them can hit for contact and power. Both of them can field.
Well, that's the thing. When you're talking about fielding, Mookie is a significantly better fielder than Acuna.
Well, he's played longer. Not by much.
But I don't see how that's relevant.
Yeah, more experience.
I suppose, but you also have to factor in
more
Mookie's
playoff experience.
That's irrelevant if we're talking about a regular season. I mean, we're talking about a regular season award.
These are guys who know how to lead teams.
Here's what we're talking about too, though. Mookie's playing a different position this year, which people
forget.
He's playing second.
Yeah. That's the
which
thing
is
that
incredible.
Ronald does not have, yeah.
He's playing second, and it was a seamless transition. I know he played second in the minors, but he hasn't played it in a long time. And he comes up and he's a Gold Glove caliber second baseman, in addition to being the best offensive threat in baseball. He's in 455 this month.
Mm-hmm.
So he is. I know you're a Acuna guy. I won't. I mean, you can't go wrong either way.
I love how they go like literally back and forth last night because Ronald with the grand slam, and Mookie had two homers.
If it weren't for Lance Lynn being a scrub, the Dodgers win that game. But that's neither here nor there.
He was. Since his five, I think in Lance Lynn's 5 starts at the Dodgers, he 105. In his 5 starts, I think he was leading the league in ERA. In his 5 starts.
Yeah.
They mentioned that.
That's pretty impressive.
Which just goes to show he wants to be on a winning team.
Yeah.
But, like, it was just fun watching that last night because I watched.
It was an awesome game.
I don't know.
We'll
give it a week.
Fun NLCS for sure.
Yeah.
If we got to see those guys in some games
or there's another team that could be in there too.
We'll see.
No, we're gonna get just. See, I had low expectations.
Have faith.
Have faith.
But here's my point. Before I just want to wrap up here.
Philly.
I just want to wrap up here on the Mookie thing. I think Ronald is a shiny new toy that like he's a younger guy than Mookie. Mookie's been doing it for a long time, but even still, Mookie's having a career year this year. I mean, he's 7.8 WAR, which is second in baseball behind Shohei. We all know what Shohei's been able to do. I mean, he leads the league in offensive WAR, leads the league in he's second on base after Acuna. Leads the league in slugging, leads the league in OBP, leads the league in total bases. I mean, he's having an unbelievable year in terms of power. I think he's second in the National League in home runs after Olson.
Yeah.
So when you factor all these things together, I understand the 36 season is incredible. It's an unbelievable accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
But Mookie is he's on a different level. He really is. I don't think it should be close when we're talking about MVP. It should be Mookie. And I know Acuna is going to get a lot of votes because the Braves are such a powerhouse, and he's just so exciting. But if I had a vote, I really wouldn't have to think about it. I really wouldn't have to think about it. It would be Mookie.
Last month of the season, we'll have to see what happens because things can change.
Sure.
But they'll play again tonight in LA, which, by the way, off task. I think this is completely off task, but I, for some reason, don't like LA Stadium. I don't like Dodger Stadium.
Why not?
Just because of the short fences.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, Wrigley has the shortest corners in baseball.
Yeah, but they're not 2 feet tall.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, just they can get away with so many cheap homers like that.
Fair enough.
I don't know. What else? Other recent news, one of the bigger prospects in baseball, Jason Dominguez, actually just got, I think it was
which is a desperation.
A desperation for them, a call-up.
I mean, they're not attempting to. They can't make the playoffs. It's almost
no,
impossible.
hell no.
But it's to try to get some fans to reinvest.
They want him to get enough experience to start.
But also, they need to appease Yankee fans in some way because they are calling for Cashman's head. They want Steinbrenner to sell the team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I mean, because I think George died in 2009, which was the year of their last World Series. And since then, Hal Steinbrenner, who is George's son, has really not. I mean, they haven't gotten to a World Series, have they? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't even gotten to one.
No.
So it's been in terms of what the Yankee fans have come to expect, I mean, a century of excellence. And now it's just, you're kind of a middling team in the American League. I mean, it's a unbelievable turnaround from what we expected for the Yankees this year. I picked them to win the division, I
think I did too.
And what I knew was going to be a very good division.
I think I did too,
but then you just factor in all these guys not performing to what we know they can. The pitching staff unbelievably bad. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know what happened with the Yankees this year.
As always, we'll bring it up every week. I'm not going to do a full run through of the standings, but I'll just bring anything up since it's changed. Starting with AL East, Baltimore still in front by Tampa Bay. It's basically a division race between those two.
It's worth noting because you're talking about a 5-game series versus a 3-game series.
Yeah.
Which is, when it comes down to it, I mean, that
Toronto.
You can really fall apart for 2 games.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're out.
Absolutely.
But I mean, in a 5-game series, like more often than not, the better team will come out.
Yes.
Not always true in a 3-game series.
I mean, if you're gonna count Toronto and Boston are both within 7 games for wild card, still plenty of time. And then Yankees are doo-doo butter. Central, essentially just looking. Why? Okay. Yeah, okay, so Cleveland, with those acquisitions, you said they were 1 game back. They're now 5 of Minnesota. This is a sticky division, probably the worst in baseball. I see Detroit within 9, which is weird.
Detroit, Kerry Carpenter, kind of dog.
Yeah, I saw this earlier, and I was looking at the August Players of the Month. I don't know who Kerry Carpenter is. I don't know who that is.
He's a dog. That's all you got to know. He's a dog.
Okay.
He's a dog.
For AL West, Seattle, with their new emergence... actually, back and forth, but they were leading.
They were half a game up, right?
They are tied currently because I think Houston won yesterday.
You know what's fascinating to me this year is, at no point this year has Houston led the division outright.
No. Wait.
No, they have.
No, they have not.
At no point this year
since Texas's downfall. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Those are 3 teams that are all within a game of each other. I think this will be Seattle, Houston, and Texas.
It's an interesting division.
This will be the most interesting push for a division title that I'm going to watch because I want to see Seattle do well, and I want to see Houston in the dumpster. So Houston has won 5 in a row. I don't know. This will be interesting. So we're going to watch this.
No doubt about it. It'll be a good race.
Okay. National League, I think Atlanta, Philly is leading that one top wild card spot. Where's Miami? I just had Miami. Miami's 3 back. See, anybody down within there is close. Miami's going to be 3 back.
Shout out Jake Berger.
Jake Berger.
Burgertron, baby. Burgertron.
So, yeah, Atlanta should have that division locked up. The Central, our Cubbies are doing really well. They won earlier today. They won last night. They are playing right now, I think, against Cincinnati.
Don't know.
2.5 back against Milwaukee. We just won 2 or 3 series at home. This will be interesting. It'll just be Milwaukee and Cubs for the division title. Maybe Cincinnati can do something late, but I doubt it. With maybe these new acquisitions are doing something, I doubt it. The NL West is Dodgers and San Francisco, which I watched a game yesterday, and they seem all right, but they're holding that 3rd spot with Arizona only a game back. Is San Francisco past Arizona? I didn't realize that. Wow. Arizona fell. I didn't realize that. But playoffs are coming. We're just as we go along every week, we'll keep updating and what things are like in case anyone revitalizes, anyone shows up anywhere. In terms of being officially eliminated, I think Oakland and Kansas City are the only teams that are.
And the White Sox are going to be soon.
Any
day now.
Wait. Well, number is 7. Yeah, they're the next closest team to be eliminated.
Yeah.
They're whatever.
Oh, you don't think I know?
Whatever the non-magic number is.
I'm already back to watching.
It's not magic number. That's magic number to win division. Whatever the non-magic number is for being eliminated, theirs is the lowest.
Sure.
So
in conclusion, Cubs are not bad.
We're good.
White Sox, terrible.
We're good.
Mookie Betts, incredible. Ronald Acuna, also incredible.
What else has happened over the last week?
I don't know. I'm sure a lot, but I just don't know. Chris Getz hired. We talked about that. Yeah, we're kind of in the dog days. We're just kind of waiting.
We're just kind of waiting for something to happen to talk,
yeah.
so we can talk about for an hour.
Want to do Immaculate Grid?
Yeah, we're gonna bring this up. I'm just gonna look up any other last skip things here. Okay, there is one thing I will bring up that in case you want to tag along with.
Yep.
I want to talk about Paul Skeens for a little bit.
What about him?
He, after his dominance in
he got bumped up in
LSU.
Double A. I saw that.
Where did he start directly in High A?
No, he went to rookie ball.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly what the deal was. I haven't been following him.
Because I'm scared for our Cubs if he.
But I did see he got roughed up in Double A.
Yes, his first start he got roughed up.
Here's my question: is like, how many innings has this guy thrown in the last 365 days?
Let me look.
Because he didn't have much of a break in between his college season and then straight into rookie ball. He's at a lot of innings on that arm, so maybe it's just a matter of, hey, like, he's getting a little bit worn down right now, and you have to.
LSU, he pitched 122 innings in 19 games started.
Yeah, and then you're talking about what? Probably another 30 in rookie ball, something along those lines.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. It's being weird. Okay, amateur, college, and minor. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's close to that. Altoona 3-1. Why is it number that low? That number.
What's the innings?
I don't know. It's formatted weirdly.
Sure,
but I don't know. But
just, my point is a young arm, and he's probably got somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 innings on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just could be a matter of, hey, you got to protect this guy's arm and shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not a.
He's someone I am nervous about for later.
I mean, it'll be
it's gonna be a while.
2-3 years before he's up, so I wouldn't worry about it too much right now. But he's good pitcher.
Yeah,
good pitcher.
Anything
got
else?
That dog in him.
Anything else in terms of news?
No, not on the top of my head.
I'm gonna look up news. We're gonna
look up
live reaction here.
All right, you do that.
But yeah, do you want to explain what the Immaculate Grid is?
So the Immaculate Grid is a fun little thing. So basically, it is a grid. I know that might be shocking to some of you. It's a grid, and so you have 3 teams on the top, 3 teams on the side. So like, it might be on the left the White Sox, at the top the Cubs, and you have to pick a player that played for the White Sox and the Cubs.
Now, what's tricky about it is that someone could have played for the Cubs for 20 years and then the White Sox for 1 year, and they would still count.
Yep.
And what makes it immaculate or whatever is you get a score. You have to get it all 9. You have 9 guesses to get the 9 squares. But what makes it interesting is you have to be as rare as possible. So they do this every single day, but we'll do this over here. So on the top columns, see, this is where it can get tricky with the double columns. On the first column is Seattle. Second column is Kansas City, and then this is where I feel like I can actually put something down, is where they'll do like a fun column where it's like a stat line, which the stat line is a 40 save season for pitching. And then in the rows, you have the Nationals, Cardinals, and Cleveland. So essentially, like, you need to name like a 40 save season for Nationals, Cardinals, and Cleveland, which I can name one. So we'll start with that column. So I feel like Class A is a safe pick. So we have to name.
Yeah, Class A is the only guy that came to mind.
Let's see if Class A works.
Talking about that.
Class A works 51%, and you want to be as random as possible. But I mean, if we can get all 9, that works. So Cardinals and saves.
So you threw out Bruce Sutter, which
Bruce Sutter.
I don't know why I keep saying. Do you think he ever had 40?
I don't know.
I kind of like it. The first guy that came to mind is Trevor Rosenthal.
My dad will know.
But he is like a very
after I
pick.
guess, and if it doesn't work, I will look at.
Put Suter. I like Suter.
I'm putting. All right, let's put Suter down and see what happens. It did take it 17%.
Okay, so
I'm gonna check this actually.
So he had 40 saves.
He did have 40 saves.
Because the only other guy that came to mind is Trevor Rosenthal.
He had 1 year, 1984, we had 45 that led the league.
Wow.
When
That's
that was
surprising.
with St. Louis. And see, here's another thing, whereas where it lists St. Louis and 40 save season, it does not mean it has to be Cardinals 40 save season.
Oh.
It could be someone who pitched 40.
Oh, so then you could put
Just say, for example, just random example. Just say Mariano Rivera played 20 years with the Yankees and then randomly 1 year with the Cardinals. And you could put him down for 40 save season.
Gotcha.
And if he played with the Cardinals, you can put him down.
Would Isringhausen count for the Cardinals? Because he had 40 saves with Oakland.
And then he played for...
And then he played for the
That would count. That would work.
Right?
So now we need 40 saves for Nationals, which...
I don't have a guess.
I don't have a guess either.
I don't even have a name that comes to mind.
I can't even name a Nationals closer.
Put Alex Colomé. I don't think he ever had 40.
Spell it.
Alex space Colome.
Alex?
Yeah, that's his first name. Colomé. Colome. I don't think it.
I can't find it. Coloma.
I don't have another guess. Is the thing. I don't even have a.
Nope, it didn't work.
Yeah, that. No, I didn't have a clue.
I've got nothing here.
So let's
we'll
move on.
All right,
Let's
so
move
now
on.
we're doing. See, this is where the double team thing comes tricky. So we'll start at the top left. Seattle and Washington. Washington, I can't name a single.
So the first guy that came to mind is Randy Johnson, but I feel like that's kind of an obvious pick.
He played for the Nationals?
Yeah, he did. He played for the Expos.
That'll work. I mean,
That counts, right?
I feel like we should just, because we're I'm not as history driven. Let's see if we can name 9 people first before we. Okay, so let's put
Randy Johnson's for certain.
Let's put Randy. 28%. That worked.
Okay.
All right. Seattle and St. Louis. Why do I feel some sort of closer was there?
Yeah, I don't have a guy that immediately came to mind. I mean, can you think of any guys like maybe that were on the Cubs or like who's the guy that was played third base for a little while for the Cubs? Tommy La Stella, did he play for because there wasn't.
Oh no, he's in the Angels right now.
Yeah, but there wasn't a guy that immediately came to my mind. Is that what I'm saying when I talk about? I feel like the best way to go about this is like thinking about relief arms.
Think for now. Think newer people. Think of people that are on the team now.
I mean, I don't really have a good guess for this one. To tell you the truth, I don't really have anybody that comes to mind. I mean,
something's clicking with some sort of one of the Diaz brothers or something.
The Diaz brothers? Okay.
I don't know. That's Cincinnati.
Let's go back to this one.
Okay.
Because I don't.
All right.
I
So
feel
now
like Seattle and
anything American League I'm in trouble with. So now we have Seattle and Cleveland.
Nelson Cruz? Did Nelson Cruz play for Cleveland? Yonder Alonso, White Sox legend. Yonder Alonso. I know for sure he did, right? Wait.
Hold on, you'll have to spell it.
Yonder, Yonder.
Wait. Why what?
Yonder. Like wonder.
Okay, am I putting this or no?
I know for a fact he played for Cleveland, and I'm pretty sure he played for Seattle. Put it. I'm pretty confident.
0.5%.
Fuck yes, dude. Look at me. Because Yonder Alonso. So he's Manny Machado's brother-in-law.
Wow.
So the White Sox signed Yonder Alonso trying to bring in Manny Machado. And then, hey, what happened? Manny Machado never comes. So we just have Yonder Alonso on the team for no fucking reason.
0.5%.
Let's go, dude. What a pull.
All right, so now we're on to the Kansas City column. Kansas City and Nationals. Who did, what's his face? Didn't Michael Taylor early?
Michael Taylor?
No.
I'm
thinking of some sort of outfielder.
There wasn't a guy that came to mind for me.
There was?
There was not a guy that came to mind for me.
Something tells me Michael Taylor played. I don't know
Put
why.
Michael Taylor if you're confident. I don't know, but put it if you're confident in it. I don't hate that guess.
Oh my God, I'm right.
Ho!
All right, 32%. I'll take it. Kansas City and St. Louis.
So the first guy that came to mind, White Sox and Cubs legend, John Jay.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, I know
he played for Cardinals. Did he play for?
Yeah, I know for a fact he played for Kansas City.
Okay, John Jay. Okay. Kansas City and Cleveland.
So this is where I get tripped up. I don't really have a good guess for this. Kansas City and Cleveland.
Oh wait, is there a pitcher? I apologize for the silence because this is us thinking. We're doing this live.
Easy.
We're doing this live.
So here's my thing. I know that Melky Cabrera played for the Royals. I don't know if he played for Cleveland because the White Sox traded him to the Royals. And for some reason, I feel like I can picture him in a Cleveland jersey.
Okay. See, because I have a safety pick.
What's a safety pick? Tell me.
No, hold on. No, like a safety pick in terms of someone who has played for a crap load of teams.
Yeah. I'll tell you the answer. The answer is very easy. It's Johnny Damon. It's Johnny Damon.
Wow.
That's a very easy guess.
He played for Cleveland?
He played. I mean, he played like.
He
maybe
did
9%.
Yeah. Holy cow! Wow. All right. So
he made American League Central. Like I know.
You got that.
Like, American League
Central, I can try
because I can relate to the White Sox. People
so
on the White Sox.
We're missing a 40 save season for Nationals.
I don't even have a person
and
in my
a
head.
Seattle and St. Louis player. We can only answer one square because we did get one wrong.
So put to the one we haven't guessed yet. So what is it?
We have Nationals 40 save season. You guessed someone, I forgot his name, but we have not guessed Seattle and St. Louis. Let's see if we can guess Seattle and St.
Louis. Fuck. I don't even have a guess.
I don't even have a guess either.
Seattle and St. Louis.
I'm trying to think of current people. See, that's where it boggles me.
Oh, hey, I got a guess. Chicago White Sox bench coach. Wait, fuck. No, because he didn't play for.
And see, this is where it can be tricky. It could be someone who played for the Cardinals for forever and then one season with Seattle.
Fuck. I really don't have a very good guess. Did Steve Cishek play for the Cardinals?
Ooh, he played for the Cubs. I would know it. Why do I like that name?
I kind of like Steve Cishek.
I kind of like Steve Cishek. I don't think he did.
No, don't put it. I'm not.
Oh my God, he did. 1%.
Let's go.
Damn. All right, what's our score? We got 243. Wow.
That was a shot in the dark.
Okay, so now it shows all the. Okay, so okay.
Do me a favor. Can you check Miguel Cairo for the Kansas City and the Mariners?
Kansas City and.
Or sorry, St. Louis, the Mariners.
St. Louis and Mariners.
I'm like barely certain Miguel Cairo played for both. Who's the White Sox?
Who was he?
Miguel Cairo.
What pitcher or batter?
Second baseman, so batter.
Kind
of feel like he did, which would have been a great pull.
C-A-I-R-O?
C-A-I-R, yeah. I-R, yep.
Miguel Cairo, yes.
Oh, fuck. That would have been a great pull. That would have been like .01 or something.
But yeah, we did pretty well. Then it shows the answers. So here, I'll give you the most... okay, so for Nationals in Seattle, the most popular option was indeed Randy Johnson, 28%.
That's the only guy that really came
I'll
to
go
mind.
into here and we'll look.
Nelson Cruz, I guess.
And see if there's anyone else in here that I would have known.
Who was 40 saves for the Nationals?
Hold on.
I don't even
I'll get there. Denard's. This is for Nationals and Mariners. Nelson Cruz did. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I knew that actually.
But
that would probably
Gordon,
be a pretty common.
I'm just checking.
Oh, D. Gordon did. Okay.
I'm just checking to see if I know any of these people. Yeah, Randy. Okay, probably Steve Cishek again. Okay.
I can't believe we got Steve Cishek.
Wow.
That is like a.
All right. Then my computer just died. Damn it. I'll go on my phone. I'll go on my phone. My computer just died. Yeah, that's surprising. Okay, Immaculate Grid.
If we can just get American League Central teams, I'm good. I know American League Central.
Okay, so then for the most popular option for Seattle and St. Louis is Colton Wong. That makes sense.
That makes sense because he's a more current player.
Seattle and Cleveland.
That was a very easy guess.
Seattle and Cleveland. Seattle and Cleveland. Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
Which I don't see Seattle. I actually see him a square over, and that's also the most popular for Cleveland and Kansas City. Carlos Santana. I probably should have gotten that.
I can't picture Carlos Santana in Seattle for some reason.
I can't. It must. Here, let me
Like,
check. Let me check.
I mean, he killed the Sox when he was on Kansas City.
It was 1 year in 2022.
Oh, okay. Oh, so last year. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Kansas City and Cardinals, Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy one. We made this way harder than it needed to be.
And then I got Michael Taylor right, correct there.
That's
Class
a good pull.
bottom right.
Yeah, Class A was the only guy that came to mind.
Isringhausen, you would have been right with.
Oh,
and there's only 6 options for a 40-save season for the
Washington?
Nationals. I'm going to see if I've heard of...
I don't even know if I've heard of
I've
one.
heard of none of these. There's a 2013, 2011, 2005.
What are the names?
In 2013, Rafael Soriano.
Nope. Don't know who that
Drew
is.
Storen, 2011.
Nope, don't know who that is.
Chad Cordero, 2005.
I actually do know who that is.
Ugueth Urbina.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't know who
John
that is.
Wetland, 1993, and
No.
Jeff Reardon is the most common one with 41
Reardon,
saves
no.
in
I don't know who that
1985.
is
My
either.
dad might have gotten that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But
That was a
we
really
did
hard.
good though. Did we get 8? Yeah, we got 8.
I think we got 8. Yeah. I'm like fired up over the Steve Cishek pull. What a pull.
I'm surprised the bottom left one was point what?
Was it Yonder Alonso? Which one was Yonder Alonso?
The Seattle and Cleveland one you put down.
Yonder Alonso.
It was like 0.1% or something.
Like, I have the White Sox on the brain. So, like, if you play with the White Sox, like,
I can do...
Same thing with Melky Cabrera. Melky Cabrera played with the White Sox. But we didn't put Melky Cabrera, did we?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we did pretty well.
Pretty good.
We'll do this every week.
Yeah.
And just run through. It sucks I can't do like past ones. On this baseball, it's run by Baseball Reference. We're not sponsored by them or anything.
Shout out Baseball Reference though.
But there's also men's basketball, which I can't do. There's football. Oh my gosh, it's all football. We'll save that for another time.
But B War is a better shot than F War. Just not to be controversial, but it is.
Yeah, it sucks you can't play past days. But yeah, that's 8 out of 9. We did pretty well there.
Right.
We're closing up on about an hour here. We're at 52. Anything else you want to bring up, or
no?
We just look ahead.
Shout out Steve Cishek. Like
on every single episode,
really
shout someone out.
Really good in MLB The Show. Like a really weird release, kind of like a little side armor guy. Like just like I know the White Sox killed him when he played with the Blue Jays one time. Like just lit him up, which was awesome.
I don't remember how he did for the Cubs.
He's played for a lot of teams.
Let me see the. Okay, so I didn't tell you the number. Okay, I'm gonna look up baseball reference.
So does where do you find like? Where does it tell you who played for who? Like, where do I find that on Baseball Reference?
What do you mean?
Like you were talking about like
when you go to a person's page, a person's Baseball Reference, there's a team.
Yeah,
like
but I'm saying like for the Immaculate Grid. Like, is there a one on Baseball Reference for Immaculate Grid?
What do you mean?
For guys that played for like Seattle and Louis?
Oh, so after I'll show you. After you do this, it shows this screen, and it shows the number of possible options, and you can click on it, and literally just gives you a list of people, and you can.
I'm gonna start cheating.
Well, this is after you submit.
Oh.
But you can sort them by year. I always sort it by WAR just for most known players.
Sure.
But yeah, so if I go to so I'm gonna go to Baseball Reference. Little insight. Steve Cishek. All right, count these teams for me. Ready?
Okay.
Florida,
1,
Miami.
2.
Is that the same team?
Yeah, same team. So 1.
Florida, Miami, St. Louis, Seattle, Rays, Cubs, White Sox, Angels, Washington.
Yeah, that's 8 teams.
8 teams.
So he's like a guy like you can kind of.
There is a better option, Mr. Edwin Jackson. My dad and I know this.
That would have been good.
All right, count this. The Dodgers. What is this? The Rays. Detroit, Arizona, White Sox.
Edwin Jackson? Yeah, I don't even remember that. How many?
St. Louis.
How many? Wait.
St. Louis. Washington. Cubs. Atlanta. Miami. San Diego Padres. Baltimore. Washington, I already said. Oakland. Toronto. Detroit.
That's 15
Detroit
teams.
Detroit was already listed.
Oh, so 14 teams.
Almost half the teams in the entire league.
So how long? I don't even remember Edwin Jackson on the White Sox.
On the White Sox, 2010, he 75 innings pitched in 11 games to the White Sox.
I don't remember that at all. But there were so many guys coming through like that.
2013, I just remember prime 2013 Edwin Jackson.
Just ripping people.
8-18 led the league in losses. I don't know what it was. When I went to Colorado, it was years ago.
Yeah.
When I've been to one game where the Cubs went to Colorado. I for some reason kept thinking it was Edwin Jackson who pitched. I think it might have been Jake Arrieta. Yeah. But I have seen Edwin Jackson pitch in person, and it was always
an experience.
It was always a miserable experience.
I got to see Carlos Zambrano pitch, but not at Wrigley. At a Chicago Dogs game when he was playing.
Yeah, my dad mentioned that.
Independent ball, dude. It was awesome. He was I think he was 45.
Yeah.
And just ripping heaters.
They have whoever the Dogs' main manager is. He was a manager. My dad would know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
The Chicago Dogs manager is someone well known for a manager in the MLB scale. But yeah, Edwin Jackson for 14. I think he has the record of most teams played. So
we just got to think Edwin Jackson.
If we have no clue,
Edwin
chuck
Jackson.
Edwin Jackson and hope.
It's a 50-50 shot.
And you essentially have a 50-50 shot, yeah. But
25% shot, I think.
He was a 14-11 winner in 2008.
Shout out Edwin Jackson. I don't remember him on the White Sox at all.
No.
It's gone over my head. All right. Well, I think we're
Is that good?
Yeah,
I think we're wrapped. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up here. Then again, just guys, make sure you go ahead and check back on our last episode. We've made a return to our podcast. We're gonna churn out these episodes every week. We came back with just some. What did we talk about last week? We ran through the divisions. We bigger news. Then again, if you guys haven't heard our first 6 episodes, where we go
my White Sox rant, which is
you went in to write your White Sox rant.
You have to listen to that.
You have to listen to that. See, now, one of these days, I don't think I can get on that scale because I'm not an angry and motivated person like you are.
I'm unbelievably angry all the time.
But I can't get that riled up about the Cubs unless they do something stupid. Like, last time I saw something stupid was pulling
Snell. Because the White Sox never do anything stupid, so it's fine.
Super stupid thing I've seen, just any baseball thing. This is probably going years back, but when the Rays pulled, was it Snell in the World Series? No.
Not Snell.
Not Snell. What's his name? What was his name? They pulled whoever way too early.
Yeah, it wasn't Snell. It was Kluber? No.
It was Kevin Cash, right?
It was Kevin Cash was the manager, but I can't think of the pitcher. Maybe it was, because that's before McClanahan, obviously. Glasnow? Was it Glasnow?
No.
I can't remember. And this is only 2.
I was correct. It was Plate Snell.
Oh, look at you.
That's the last time I've seen someone do something mega stupid in terms of baseball.
Lose your World Series, yeah, that's tough. All right, well, I think we're going
to wrap this up here. Next week, we're just going to go through, see any new news. We will do the Immaculate Grid, see if we can turn out a 9 for 9. We'll tag that. But that is all from me. Kevin, any last notes?
White Sox are bad.
White Sox are bad. I think the Cubs are...
And I realize
we're good.
An impact on my life more than it should. Makes me sad.
I earlier today I watched 2016 highlights and I almost cried.
I wish I could do a study of how many people in Chicago depressed and White Sox fans. I guarantee.
And find that graph.
I guarantee.
Find a graph, a population graph of
number of people with depression,
number of people with depression, and number of White Sox fans.
It's a straight line.
And oh my God. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. We will see you guys next week with any further big news. But that is all from Diamond Weekly. You guys have a good one.